And I'm back. So I know it's been a little bit longer than I wanted. I know I said I was going to try and make at least one video a week. A little behind, but that's right, we're going to knock this out. So real quick, so today is the 26th of January. Found out a little bit earlier that Kobe Bryant had died in a helicopter crash, which is very sad. I've never really been super big into sports per se, but I know that he was a legend. He was, you know, a big part of what basketball is for a lot of people. And he had a big legacy and a big positive impact on a lot of people. It's kind of sad to see him go. So rest in peace to Kobe and everybody else involved in that helicopter crash. But yeah, so today, this video, kind of stealing it from another YouTuber that I like to watch. I thought it would be sort of a fun idea and something that'd be kind of humorous to do, especially with it being 2020, a new decade, all that good stuff. You know, why not go through memory lane a little bit? So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, and then if you haven't noticed, I got the hat on today. I'm kind of tired of looking like the mayor of Whoville, so yeah, I'll have to get a haircut here soon. I've kind of been creeping on my own little Facebook. I don't know, I feel like there's a few bangers in here, so let's see how terrible I've looked over the years. Here we go. Look at this stud. Ooh, with the knee-high socks and everything. And that was the last time that I was ever cute. Some more of just me and my mom at Disneyland. Probably one of my favorite pictures. This kid's just cheesing. But look at that hair though. God, we're completely pooped at the end of that day. And I guess I had a good time, so just conked out. Look at all that hair though. So that was back in Cali. So then obviously my mom joined the army, I think when I was like 2 or 3, where she met my dad. This guy right here. See, this is back in the day when I didn't have my farmer's tan and actually, like, you know, I looked Mexican. Now it's just kind of like, I think this is in Vegas with my cousins. My cousin Genevieve on the left and Lexi on the right. Of course, Jen is cheesing as always and trying to be the center of attention. Or at least back then anyway. Just peep the the white socks with the sandals. To this day, I'm not a big fan of like wearing sandals. This is us here again. Or I'm pretty sure that's the same trip. And then Lexi, you know, just took her shoes off because why not? I think this was actually on the drive there. We stopped by the Hoover Dam, which was pretty cool. I think my mom was scared like the whole time that I was gonna fall in. Yeah, me and my dad always popping guns back then. Oh, okay, this picture, this one's good. So obviously there's me, and then the girl my left, picture's right, is Jasmine. One of my favorite movies when I was younger was Aladdin. Everybody would like call me Aladdin, right? Then there was Jasmine, so there'd always be this like, you know how parents, they're like, oh, they're so cute, you know, Aladdin and Jasmine, oh. So Jasmine's there, and then I don't remember my guy's name, but I do remember him, he was pretty cool. And then for whatever reason, homegirl on the far right was like, well, first off, she's like pasty white. Like, she almost looks blown out in the picture because of like how white she is. Anyway, she was cool. She was super nice from what I remember. But like, I also remember she like was like infatuated with me. Like, homegirl was like in love with me. And I always like thought, even back then I was like, that's kind of weird. But she was cool. Okay, so this one like, yeah, I want to say it's in Mexico. And if you don't know anything about Mexican hosted parties, it doesn't matter what the event is. It could be a wedding, it can be a high school graduation. I think in this case it was like 5-year-old's birthday party. There's always drinking, like heavy drinking. And then like Mexicans, they come out of the woodworks and you're gonna see grown men being blasted drunk at a 5-year-old party, and they did. And for whatever reason, CPS wasn't called on my parents because they allowed me to walk in public with these incredibly short shorts on. And I don't know really how I feel about it. And I know this is kind of my picture, but I don't really feel comfortable that this kid is wearing shorts these short. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like a little weird. Like, I mean, I've always been proud of, like, because I got like, you know, strong legs, but like that's not kosher. That's not cool. So we go to this lake, right? The same one that I took this other picture in. Apparently me and my cousins with the drunken Mexicans like sprawled out all over the lake. We were taking like grass and like twigs and like dirt and like just putting it in like like all the drunks that were passed out around the lake, we would just like put shit in their mouth. It's kind of funny. Me and my dad, corporal. Him having been a corporal and then me getting my corporal stripes while I was in the army, you know, everybody's like, oh, in the army, like corporal is like, it's like it's like Dwight's job in The Office. It's like, it's not the assistant regional manager, it's the assistant to the regional manager. So it's like you kind of have authority, but you don't, because you don't get paid for it. Being a medic and being corporal, like you get the sham power of just a regular E4, but you kind of get the authority. Plus you bump it up a little bit with being a medic on the line company, because, you know, medics just kind of have that power sometimes. Very proud of my corporal stripes when I had them, and him having done the same thing was kind of a big deal for me. Yeah, I've always looked good in black, but this and the overalls, I could rock some overalls, let me tell you. One big happy family, and then they just ruined it with him. This is Ryan, my little brother. The day everything went downhill. I think, again, this was back in the good old days when it was just us three. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite pictures too, just us chilling at the apartment. I don't know what Ryan's doing here. He's booty popping. It's funny. I know we were like looking into the sun, that's why we're all squinting, but he's just over here just like that's funny. Ooh, that's a big boy. Just the rise of the fat kid with glasses. I don't remember who snapped this picture or why I thought this would be a good idea, but here we are. I think I had a lot of blowback from this when I was in the army too, but I was in ROTC when I was in high school. Oh yeah, look at this. Thinking I'm cool in my sunglasses. I think this was first homecoming, and me and Devin thought we were in the Matrix or something, or we were like CIA, I don't remember. We were trying to play it cool because we were super nervous, but it just didn't quite work out. But again, looking great in black. Hair's on point. This is where I kind of like start like thinning out a little bit. Like I'm just, you know, I went from here to like here. So I started thinning out a little bit. Got a little taller. Yeah. I don't I don't know what I'm doing there. I really don't. Senior photo. See, again, like slimmer, but you know, hair was semi on point. Oh, and then so then the next following summer after I graduated, I went to Iowa State for a like an engineering like summer program, where I found out that I am not scientifically minded enough to do something like that. So for some reason I decided to go to philosophy instead at Iowa State. I don't know. Anyway, the bed sheets, Pearl in the back. I want to say I'm in the back corner, but I don't remember. There's this picture that we took that summer, and this was like when like planking was a big thing. Like people would just plank everywhere, and he was able to do it in the hallway, because like the hallway would come at this like point. He was able to essentially plank in midair. Yeah, this picture, like I don't remember. I know it was like it kept getting like reposted on a bunch of sites, but yeah, this picture was awesome. We were just like, oh shit. But yeah, I think it was on the Chive and everything, if you know what that website is. But yeah, that was a good one. Back at Iowa State, and because of John, I also got into longboarding. Alright, so then obviously I didn't stay at Iowa State, it was too expensive. Didn't have any scholarships or anything, wasn't feeling the RTC programs there. They weren't feeling me, which is fine. So I went back home, went to UNO for a little bit, wasn't feeling that, and so I joined the Army. Back then they would also like post a bunch of pictures, and so your family could kind of like keep track of what you were doing, because obviously you weren't really talking to them in basic. This is not me, but my dad thought it was. But yeah, they would post pictures of all of us. I think this was closer towards graduation, when they gave us our phones back. Whew. Ooh. Not a good look. And they get to AIT. you know, I go to AIT, which was I think in October. A couple months go by, then obviously it is, or a month and a half, and then Christmas, so you get to get leave for Christmas. Cousin Lexi, the one that does her own thing and takes off her shoes and stuff, she flew up for the holiday, so that was pretty dope. That was pretty fun. Just being weirdos, being ourselves. Was not too different than what we do nowadays. But yeah, this is me really feeling myself, and it's probably the skinniest I've ever been. But like Under Armour-ish. Actually, I think it is Under Armour. You can kind of see the logo right there, but yeah, I was really feeling myself that day. But yeah, this is us throughout training. It had some photographer taking pictures during one of our last exercises. But yeah, this exercise was pretty cool. All my buddies, my homies. And I get to airborne school. Don't really have too many pictures of that because we couldn't have our phones throughout the day. So yeah, I got my airborne wings. And then get to the old 82nd. Being a goob. Super proud of the patch and the beret. Which I will say, those are probably the two proudest things I ever had, or had gotten. Minus my friends from Bragg. Everything else is just kind of like meh. But yeah, I really love my beret. That's why it's back there. Same one too. Oh yeah, I think this is one of I think this was right before I deployed. And yeah, my beret. It's always got to be on point. Everybody's like, oh, it's got to be purple. Like, no. You have to have the cant. Your flash or your the sail has to be forward, and you gotta have that thing coming down. If you can get it to cover the eye, that's even better. If you can get a tan from said covering, that's like expert level maroon beret wear. Ooh, first tattoo. Hell yeah. Got the mark of the beast. So I get a lot of questions on this one, right? So I was in Charlie Company. I was with the medics, right? Makes sense. This is the Capsule Corps logo from Dragon Ball Z. We're nerds, what's up? So it's the Capsule Corps logo from Dragon Ball Z, but we kind of rebranded it. So for Charlie Company, and then we had the cross in the middle for the medics. So Charlie Company medics, and we all got that before we deployed. Yeah, so then we deploy, right? First little living quarters. So essentially what they had, you know those shipping containers? We call them connexes, I don't know what everybody else does. But they essentially like refurnished them and then stacked them together to make little buildings. And those would be our living quarters, because, you know, in Kabul everything's pretty well established. It's not like, you know, back in 05 or something when you essentially had to find a piece of dirt and that was your room. Oh yeah, the Beats by Muhammad, those are dope. Oh yeah, this was actually Christmas, and I was like, oh, I understand sacrifice because I'm like, me just again feeling myself. So yeah, this deployment was fun. We pretty much just played combat taxi the whole time. Nothing ever really happened. We had one incident, but luckily none of our people were hurt. Me just feeling myself. This is probably one of the cooler pictures, one of the cooler days we were at. This is a range, technically. Some mountains and stuff in the back. It was pretty foggy. It was pretty fun. These were pretty cool. This is the way. My hair tried to make a comeback, but then it just like afterwards it just, you know, having the helmet on every day for hours at a time. Yeah, I was really feeling myself there. There was a bazaar down there, and you know, you'd have locals that would sell products. That's, you know, Beats by Muhammad, and they'd have custom tailors there every once in a while, and I got a couple suits made, and it was actually pretty okay, pretty decent. Still have them. Oh, okay, so this portion, right? So I had this thing where I would, if I ever saw somebody's phone out or anything that had like any device with a camera on it, I would play this game called Shenanigans, where essentially I would take their device and just take all the pictures I could. Usually I would try and max out the card or max out the memory. Doing that to these guys, and they found my iPad, so they just started taking pictures, and there's a lot more than this, but yeah, some of these were pretty funny. Travis being Travis. Playing Pokemon in Afghanistan, what can I say? Me, again, playing more Pokemon, just leisurely in Afghanistan, no big deal. But yeah, it was a fun deployment. It was a good group of guys, 100%. Even to this day would go back if it was the same people. Do it all over again. Yeah, did some more training. Went to El Paso, getting treated like the king that I am by my amazing aunts. Fat Kid for life. Look at those, like, look at that back right there. Like, I was putting in work at the gym. I was not skinny. Like, I look skinny, but I'm not. But that back definition is, I need to get back to that. My aunts are pretty cool. Yeah, I don't, there was very few times where I wasn't at their house and we weren't drinking, so yeah, it's a good time. Best hangover food you can ever have in your life. Some good pozole. It's amazing. But yeah, after all that, got to Fort Hood. Reconnected with some old buddies from AIT. Went to California a couple times, saw my family. Yeah, it's been a fun few years. Yeah, now we're somewhere about right here. Yeah, just want to do a quick little fun video. Yeah, it's kind of weird, like seeing myself from a while ago. And I'm turning 27 here in a couple weeks, which is like weird to say. It's weird to think about. Because I'm closer to 30 than, I don't know, that's weird. I don't want to think about it. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a quick little fun one with you guys. If you liked it, awesome. Like, share, subscribe, all that good happy stuff. You know how it goes. Help a brother out. But yeah, hopefully I have another video up here soon. Hopefully it won't take as long as I did this past one. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a good week. Peace.